gloved, and the throw is not in time, off the bag by Dorio. And that's going to be an error on Dorio. Designated hitter number 11, Rob Roman. So after the throwing error, throw back to first, and Martucci's in standing. So Rob Roman at the plate hitting .317 on the year. Roman scored twice, drove in 2 runs, and was 2 for 4 in the win over Kings on Tuesday. 4 Gothic Knights had multiple hits in that game. Pitch by Young is low. 2-0. In that game, Bolano, Martucci, Rivera, and Roman combined for 11 of NJCU's 14 hits as they jumped out to a 10-1 lead before holding on 10-6. Throw back to first, Martucci. Clearly they have scouted him and know that he's a stolen base threat on the year. 10 for 12 in steals. That's high. And Rob Roman with a man at first base has a 3-0 count. Young deals. That's high for ball 4. And Rob Roman draws a 4-pitch walk. Now runners at first and second for a red hot. The catcher, number 7, Orlando Bolano. Bolano in his first year at NJCU, the Division II transfer, making his 4th start at catcher. Martucci with a healthy leadoff second base. And it pitches off the plate for ball 1. Bolano was showing he was thinking about his sacrifice. 5 straight balls here by Young. Inside. 6 in a row, and it's now 2-0. Should Bolano reach, he'll be followed by Andrew Rivera with his first home run of the year and had 5 RBIs in the win over Kings. That's a strike fastball by Young, 2-1. Entering today's game, James Young, 1-0, 6.16 ERA. About 29 hits in 19 innings. Bunted, foul, and caught by the catcher, Fondacaro. A terrible bunt by Bolano. Straight up in the air. Easy play for Fondacaro, and the Gothic Knights just wasted a golden opportunity. Left fielder number 1, Andrew Rivera. Andrew Rivera hitting .321, 3rd on the team in batting average, 2nd amongst players in today's game. Martucci has the highest coming in. Ryan Winters is actually hitting .444 overall. He's on the shelf right now. That is ball 1 in the dirt. Winters with an sprained ankle from the St. Joe's Maine game a few weeks ago and is still hobbled by that. One of the reasons that Bolano is catching. 1 ball, no strikes. And that's lined into right field for a base hit. Martucci rounds 3rd. He will go. Scoring is Martucci, and the Gothic Knights take a 1-0 lead on the RBI single by Andrew Rivera, his 20th RBI of the season. Rob Roman moves on to second base. Right fielder number 32, Matt Wagner. Matt Wagner, the NJAC Rookie Hitter of the Week 2 weeks ago, hitting .302 on the year. There goes Roman. Ground ball through the left side of the infield for a base hit. Rolling third and coming home is Roman. The double steal by NJCU led to a run as Roman was in position. The shortstop was not, as Doria had to go over and cover the bag, and Matt Wagner with good situational hitting there, and the Gothic Knights have taken a 2-0 lead. Double steal again. The throw to second base is high, and everyone is safe as Wagner steals second and Rivera takes third. Third baseman number 19, Brian Bastillo. And I believe home plate umpire Steve Leonardo is going to call Bastillo out on batter's interference. And the stolen bases are negated. Center fielder number 28, Michael Paterson. So Paterson is out on batter's interference. We'll put a little note in here that Bastillo is out on batter's interference. Michael Paterson, the batter who grounded out 6-3 in the first inning, and he looks at ball one. So with the double steal by Rivera and Wagner negated. Popped in the air, shallow right center, coming in and making the catch is the right fielder Summers, and the inning comes to a close. In the second inning for NJCU, 2 runs on 2 hits. There was 1 error and 2 left on base. We head to the third inning, 2-0 NJCU. Ryan Gibbons, who doubled and was thrown out at the plate in the first inning, left-handed hitter, leads off for the Pioneers. That's a ground ball, caught in fair territory by Alex Weinstein. That ball was going to go foul had he not grabbed it. It could have stayed fair and maybe hugged the line a little bit, but an acrobatic play by Weinstein. And 1 away. Left fielder number 2, A.J. Flores. A.J. Flores, a sophomore from West Orange, New Jersey, West Orange High School. He walked in the first inning before being stranded at second base. Ground ball, Bastillo hit him in the heel of the glove, and it's going to be an error on Bastillo. It was not hit nearly hard enough to credit a base hit. So an error on Bastillo. Flores reaches the first baseman, number 14, Jack Montanil. Montanil, who flew out to deep left center field, hitting .418 on the year. That's inside, ball one. Pedro Garcia on the year, 0-2, although one of the losses was a real tough one-run loss to Framingham State. 0-2 with a 5.62 ERA. His fourth start, fifth appearance. He has thrown 16.0 innings. Allowed 17 hits, 11 strikeouts, 9 walks, 254 opposing batting average. He's allowed 10 earned runs, 18 total in 16 innings. Flores on base unearned right now. 2 balls, no strikes. Garcia fakes the third to first. Garcia, one of 3 lefties in the rotation at the start of this season. Pitch by Petey, and that's lined foul, and it's going to splash down in the bay. Oh, it did. That went straight over the NJCU sign and left over the left field fence in foul territory, and there's a little alcove there that if you're daring enough, you can go swimming in, as some have in the past. Floater, and calling off Martucci was Senizin in the middle of the infield. So kind of like an in-between line pop there. And now 2 away. The designated hitter number 44, Adam Durner. Durner, who had a single in the first inning, has raised his batting average to a mind-boggling .521. Durner is 6'1", 245 pounds from River Edge, New Jersey, and Riverdale Regional High School. A past NJAC and NJCBA Player of the Week this year, the left-handed hitter. Just, again, putting up mind-boggling numbers. And the first pitch by Garcia is high, as he's going to have to be careful with Durner. Durner, on the year, leads the NJAC in RBIs. It's not even close. He has 41. 25 runs scored, now hitting .521. 37 for 71. Extra base hits, yeah, he's got those too. We'll tell you more in a second. The pitch by Garcia, that's a curveball for a strike. On the year, Durner with 17 extra base hits, 7 doubles, a triple, and 9 home runs. Those are good home run totals for a career. He's got 9 in half a season. Big, strong guy. Pitch by Garcia. That's low. It's 2-1. In the NCAA stats, again, these are as of Monday. They are not counting 2 non-conference games that the Pioneers played. But through Monday's game, he ranked 4th in the country in RBIs, 4th in slugging at .935, 5th in on-base percentage at almost .600. The throw, whoa, that was a little hard to describe. Bolano trying to throw out Flores at second base, and Petey Garcia felt that whiz by his ear and had to stick out a glove in self-preservation there. That's ball 3. Credit the stolen base to Flores. Ninth stolen base of the year. Actually, 10th stolen base of the year now in 11 tries for Flores. The 3-1 pitch to Durner. And that's inside, and that might be a better result for the Gotham Knights after all. He walks on 4 pitches, but you don't want to deal with Adam Durner right now. they'll take their chances now with the shortstop, number 4, Anthony Dorio. Dorio lined out right at Matt Wagner as he went the opposite way to end the first inning. A little more on Durner. He's 6th in the country in batting average. That's going to go up. That is high and off the screen. They throw to third base. It is going to be not in time. And on the wild pitch, Durner stays at first. Flores advances. And Brian Bastille looked like he got cleated. And Brian Bastille is in pain as he sits down next to the pitcher's mound. And Anne-Marie Stobling, the Gothic Knight athletic trainer, will go out and have a look. As she works on Bastille, we're going to mention that Durner also is 11th in the country in home runs, and now that was with 6. He's hit 3 in the last week, and that will substantially go up, you would imagine. So Brian Bastille being worked on here by Anne-Marie Stobling, Gothic Knight junior captain. Head coach Jerry Smith out to check on Bastille. Looks like he will stay in the game. Bastille, one of a handful of players on this team that began his career at Division I St. Peter's College. He was a redshirt freshman there during the 2009 season but did not play. And he played high school baseball at Hudson Catholic in Jersey City. He played there for 4 years, and his head coach was Danny Suarez, who was a great college player at William Paterson, which is why we mentioned that. Called strike on the outside corner to Dorio, evens the count at 1-1. So a lot of 6 degrees of separation here between the Pioneers and the Gothic Knights, between the high school and collegiate levels. So 2-1 is at the feet of Dorio. 2 away here, but now Pioneers with a runner just 90 feet away. Corners on the corners. Garcia inside, and it's 3-1, and he's a ball away from loading the bases. Inning should have been over 1-2-3. Gibbons, the liner to Weinstein at first. An error allowed Flores, who's at third base, to reach. Montanil lined out on a short pop to the second baseman, and that is ball 4. Dorio, back-to-back walks now for the Pioneers, and Nick Cesar, the Gothic Knight pitching coach, will talk with Pedro Garcia as the Gothic Knight infield walks over to the mound. The catcher, number 5, Vin Fondacaro. Fondacaro struck out swinging on 3 pitches to start the second inning. Home plate umpire Steve Leonardo comes out to the mound to find out what's for dinner tonight and breaks up the meeting as he walks off conversing with Nick Cesar, who cracks a smile. First base coach or I should say third base coach for the Pioneers is Bob Lauderhan, their longtime veteran assistant coach, whose oldest son, Mike, is looking for his 100th win today in his 5th year as head coach of the Pioneers. And the first pitch is a strike. Mike Lauderhan, who graduated in 1997 from William Paterson, enters today's game with a 79-2 career record after taking over for legendary Pioneer coach Jeff Albies, who won 860 games in 33 seasons. Ground ball right at Bastille, who will go the short way to third and step on the bag to end the inning before Durner, the big guy, can get there. Bastille was shaken up, but athletic enough to get there before Durner, and the inning comes to a close, and the Pioneers leave the bases full. In the third inning for the Pioneers, no runs, no hits. There was 1 error and 3 left. We head to the bottom of the third inning. It's 2-0 NJCU. Bottom of the third inning here in Jersey City, Gothic Knights leading 2-0 and leading off for NJCU. The second baseman, number 15, Pete Senizin. Pete Senizin grounded out to shortstop, one of 2 groundouts to Dorio that came in that first inning, and with NJCU leading 2-0, we'll see if the Gothic Knights can add more here against James Young, going out for his third inning of work. And he drops down a bunt. Coming in is the third baseman, Lauer. The throw is off the bag. Backing that up nicely was Robbie Summers, the right fielder, so Senizin cannot advance, but he is saved on the infield bunt single. The first baseman, number 24, Alex Weinstein. Alex Weinstein with Senizin at first base. Gothic Knights leading by 2. Pitch by Young. Ground ball right to Lauer. The force at second is in time, but the throw to first not in time as Weinstein's able to beat it down the bag for the fielder's choice. So Weinstein with a fielder's choice. Pete Senizin's out 5-4. The shortstop, number 10, Michael Martucci. And that brings up Martucci, who reached on an error before scoring in the second inning. Martucci now with 21 runs scored this year. Michael Patterson second with 15. 5 Gothic Knights have scored double-figure runs so far this year. Throw back to first, short of the bag, Weinstein diving in. Weinstein, the first baseman for NJCU, 6'2", 225 pounds, but he does run well. Chopped over the mound. Doyle will have to hurry. The flip to the shortstop, I should say to the second baseman, Tazinski, is in time for the second out, but Martucci easily beat it out down the line, so no chance for a double play. Not an easy play at all for Dorio, and that will bring up the designated hitter, number 11, Rob Roman. Roman, who walked and scored the second run in the second inning, hitting .317. And that's high and off the plate. Artucci, who would have had to steal the last inning had it not been waved off due to a batter's interference, and that's low. We mentioned Bob Lauderhan, the third base coach for the Pioneers, and Mike Lauderhan is their head coach. Probably the most well-known Lauderhan was, as time is called by Roman, was Dan Lauderhan, the All-American second baseman for the Pioneers, who helped them win the 1996 College World Series and later played in the Detroit Tigers organization. There goes Martucci, and he's going to be a dead duck as he's picked off 1-3. And Dorio applies the tag, so he's caught stealing 6. So Martucci, a 1-3 to 6 pickoff caught stealing. And the Gothic Knights out here in the third inning after a leadoff bunt single by Pete Senison. Second baseman, number 6, Scott Tazinski. Let's go Scott Tazinski to lead off here in the top of the fourth inning. The 7, 8, and 9 hitters due up for the Pioneers. And that is low. Tazinski hitting .322 on the year. Will be followed by Summers. And Lauer, Tazinski grounded out to the shortstop in the second inning. Inside, and it's 2-0. Pitch. And Garcia has issued 3 balls to start the fourth inning. And that's ball 4. And Tazinski, a leadoff walk on 4 pitches. The right fielder, number 7, Robbie Summers. So Robbie Summers, who walked in the second inning, trying to bring the Pioneers a little closer. Summers shows bunt, and that's ball 1. Throw back to first. Throw will not be made as everyone was faked out. Garcia waited too long. And And you have to ask why he would do that. He had an easy play at first base, looked at second. And it's not an error, it's a mental error more than anything. Summers reaches on the bunt. Well, that'll bring up the third baseman, Lauer, who's going to show bunt again. And it's a called strike. Third baseman, number 28, James Lauer. And you have to wonder there if Garcia actually might have been fooled, as someone in the press box mentioned, and they are correct, that the Pioneer bench, which is along the first base side here, was yelling 2-2-2 to try to trick him to throw to second base, and maybe a little gamesmanship there paid off, as he did look at second and hesitated. He would have had the easy out of Summers at first. No balls and one strike. Be a big time here to make a big play. Bastillo will have to go to first. And initially he was called safe as Jim Giuliano, the field umpire, originally pulled his arms out as if Lauer was safe, but then made the right call as Lauer is out. So a 5-3 sack bunt. Summers and Tazinski advance to second and third, and that will bring up center fielder number 11, Ryan Gibbons. Gibbons is 1 for 2 today. And that's high. Looked pretty good from this vantage point. One ball, no strikes. Swing and a miss. 1-1. Tying runs are both in scoring position with one out. That's fouled away. And after the long pause, it's 1-2. Big pitch come here by Garcia. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Pitch to the leadoff hitter, and it's on the ground. Senizin will go to short way for the second out. The inning should be over, but Tazinski does score as Garcia's mental mistake earlier has cost the Gothic Knights a run. So a 4-3 ground out. Summers advances to third. Left fielder, number 2, A.J. Flores. So Flores with a chance to tie the game now with Summers standing at third. Flores 0 for 1 today, reached on an error and a walk. He has 1 steal. And they call a ball. That was right over the plate. Wow. 1 ball and no strikes, and I don't know about that one. And time is called by Steve Leonardo. The New York Mets on their way to a perfect season so far. They defeat the Braves today opening day 1-0. Undefeated New York Mets. Johan Santana. The win for the Knights. I'll mention we had Johan Santana on the Gothic Knights. Santana with the Mets. Picking up the opening day win. That is in the dirt. It's 2-1. Two and one. Bolano sets up right in the middle of the plate. Ground ball. Castillo follows it. The throw is going to have to be rushed. It's going to bring home a run. The error on Castillo, and the Pioneers have tied it. First baseman, number 14, Jack Montanil. So William Paterson with 2 runs here in the top of the 4th. One was earned, although it was a mental error. And then an error here allows the second run to come in. And the first pitch by Garcia. It's ball 1 to Montanil, and if he gets on, danger time. Although Montanil is pretty dangerous himself. Hitting .412 on the year now. The throw is not in time as Flores with his second steal of the game. 2 balls and no strikes. Montanil with an RBI opportunity now. That's high. It's 3-0. Montanil with 26 RBIs. Second on the team to Durner with 41. The 3-0 offering. It's a fastball for a strike. It's 3-1. Three-one pitch in the dirt, ball 4. The designated hitter, number 44, Adam Durner. And Nick Cesar will have another meeting at the mound with Pedro Garcia. And you have to believe this is going to be his last chance here. If he's unable to get out of this inning, the Knights could make a change. NJCU struck first, 2 runs in the bottom of the second inning, but the Pioneers with 2 runs home here in the 4th. 1 earned, 1 not, although neither should have scored. The inning should have been over. Mental mistakes don't officially go in the fielding percentage column. And what they do is extend the inning, and with Adam Durner now coming up, Pedro Garcia is going to have to do some crafty pitching. Durner is beasting it this year. .521 batting average. 1 for 1 today with a walk. Inside at the elbows. Pitch by Garcia. Inside, and it's 2-0, and it's clear that Garcia is being very careful with Durner. Two-0 pitch to Durner. Hit in the air. Deep right field, Wagner in front of the fence, should have a play on it, and he does. Durner gave it a ride, hit it about 325 feet or so. It's about 335 feet to that part of the park. The inning does come to a close. So in the fourth inning for the Pioneers, 2 runs, 1 hit, 1 error, 2 left on. Tied heading to the bottom of the fourth. The designated hitter, number 11, Rob Roman. Rob Roman leads off for the Gothic Knights. And the first pitch by James Young is a ball. So far, James Young in 3 innings allowed 3 hits, 1 earned run, 1 walk, no strikeouts. That's popped out. That goes into the bay. One ball and 1 strike. Roman, the 5-hitter, will be followed by Bolano and Rivera in the dirt, ball 2. Bolano, the on-deck hitter, flips the ball back to home plate umpire Steve Leonardo. And that's lined, caught in foul territory by James Lauer, the third baseman. It was going to be foul nonetheless, but Lauer was able to get a quick read on it and make the put out. Now we'll bring up the catcher, Orlando Bolano. The catcher, number 7, Orlando Bolano. And he looks at strike 1. Fastball is good for a called strike 2. Off the plate, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Chopper towards the shortstop hole. The third baseman, Lauer, fields it and makes the throw in time for the second out. And with 2 away, that will bring up the left fielder, number 1, Andrew Rivera. Rivera hitting .329 in the year after an RBI single in his first at-bat of the game in the second inning, his 20th ribby of the season. Rivera, a criminal justice major out of Edison, New Jersey. Curveball is high. 20 RBIs on the season, and now 27 hits. Last year, when he played in 21 games and saw the most significant playing time of his career, he had 18 RBIs and 26 hits, so he's already got career highs in both ribbies and hits as a junior. Swing and a miss, it's 2-1. Now 60 career hits for Rivera. And that's popped out of play. Foul down the left field line. $60 hits and 42 career RBIs for Rivera. And strike three looking. Rivera doesn't like it. But the inning comes to a close. As Rivera goes down looking, the Pioneers retire NJCU in order as we head to the fifth, tied at 2. Shortstop, number 4, Anthony Dorio. Well, the dangerous Durner flew out deep to right field to end the last inning. So here in the fifth inning, it'll be the 5, 6, and 7 hitters. Dorio, Fondacaro, and Tazinski. Dorio's 0 for 1. He lined out to right field, and he walked. And first pitch by Garcia, that was his 75th of the game, is a ball. 35 strikes, 40 balls. Ground ball. Martucci with a backhand. The throw is in time. Great play by Mike Martucci at short. Catcher, number 5, Vin Fondacaro. Fondacaro is 0 for 2, a strikeout swinging, and he reached on a fielder's choice. And he looks at, I thought that was a strike. That is ball 1. Garcia deals, and that's lined over the head of Bastillo and into left field, where Rivera will have to play back into Martucci, the cutoff man. A one-out single by Fondacaro. 4th hit of the game for the Pioneers, and NJCU has 3. The second baseman, number 6, Scott Tazinski. Tazinski 0 for 1. He also walked and scored the first run in the 4th inning. Off the plate, 1-0. Chopped foul, 1-1. Top of the fifth inning here in Jersey City at the Thomas M. Garrity Athletic Complex. Game one of a two-day home-and-home series between the Gothic Knights and the Pioneers, two of the original baseball-playing schools in the New Jersey Athletic Conference, dating to the late 1930s. Curved ball is a called strike by Garcia, and it's 1-2. 2 runs, 4 hits, 1 error for the Pioneers. 2 runs, 3 hits, 2 errors for the Gothic Knights. That's Hides, 2-2. Games like this are always a little awkward for me because I did get my broadcasting debut as an undergrad at William Paterson between 1995 and 2000. A lot of my friends went on to work in the TV field. That's grounded down the third base line. That's a base hit for Tazinski. Andrew Rivera quickly got to that ball along the line, and his hustle limits Tazinski to a single, and Fondacaro has to stop at second. And that is going to be it for Pedro Garcia. Jerry Smith comes out and takes the ball, and Garcia's day is done. With 1 out here in the 5th inning, he cannot win. He could lose depending on what happens. New pitcher for the Knights. Number 5, Zach Markle. So they change one lefty for another lefty, and it'll be Zach Markle, who is 2-1 on the year. This will be his 8th appearance. In 16 innings, he is a 2.25 ERA. He's allowed just 5 runs, 4 of which were earned, 6 strikeouts, 5 walks in 16 innings pitched. But he has allowed 23 hits in that span. And with inherited runners, 2 of them on base, this is a huge situation for Markle. His opposing batting average is the highest on the team at .359, but his ERA is the second lowest. So he's allowed hits, but not in key times. Yeah, numbers, as I was saying, a number of my peers as an undergrad at William Paterson working in the business, many behind the scenes, producers and directors, and a number working camera for Fox and SNY and CBS. But my first on-air job as a student at William Paterson was with Kevin Burkhardt, who many of you now know is the sideline reporter and part-time play-by-play announcer for the New York Mets and the main talent on SNY. And it was a privilege growing up, having an opportunity to learn my craft working with guys like that, guys that you can still call your friend 20 years after the fact. The right fielder, number 7, Robbie Summers. So Summers, the number 8 hitter, in a big spot here for the Pioneers. He is 0 for 1 today with a walk, a single, and a run scored. Tazinski at first, Fondacaro at second. Zach Markle. Big situation here, and the first pitch fouled away. That's fouled away again, and Markle is ahead of Summers 0-2. Markle looks at second, deals, and it's low. It's 1-2. Markle deals, check swing, and he went around for strike 3 as the ball got away from Bolano. So 2 away, and Markle will face the third baseman, number 28, James Lauer. Lauer is 0 for 2 today. His average now at an even 300. Grounded out to second, grounded out to third. He ended the second inning with a ground out. Can Markle get a ground out here, or any out for that matter, to get out of the fifth and keep this game knotted at 2? And as a base hit past third base, Rivera gets to it quickly. His throw will be to the cutoff man as Fondacar will score with the lead run, and the Pioneers have taken a 3-2 lead on the RBI 2-out single by Lauer. And I'll bring up the center fielder, Gibbons, who's been retired his last 2 outs, or at-bats. The center fielder, number 11, Ryan Gibbons. But one of those outs was productive. An RBI ground out in the 4th inning. He doubled in first before being thrown out at the plate. He also grounded out to Weinstein at first, unassisted. It's curving in the air. Shallow left center. Rivera comes in, and he makes the catch as he shielded his eyes from the sun. So Gibbons flies out to left center. Lauer and Tazinski are stranded, but the Pioneers take the lead on 3 hits. 2 left on base. Garcia only allowed 3 runs in this contest, but William Paterson with a 3-2 lead as we head to the bottom of the 5th. Leading off for the Gothic Knights, the right fielder, number 32, Matt Wagner. Bottom of the 5th inning, Gothic Knights suddenly find themselves down a run after initially leading 2-0. Pioneers with a 6-3 edge in hits right now, and it'll be Wagner, Bastillo, and Patterson due up against William Paterson. And Wagner swings and misses at the first pitch fastball by Young, who's only thrown 43 pitches in the first 4 innings. Oh, 1 pitch. Chopped foul, left at third base. And it's 0-2. Matt Wagner singled and drove in a run in his first at-bat in the 2nd inning. Now hitting .318 in his freshman campaign. One of 3 true freshmen on this year's team. That's off the plate. The other true freshmen, Stefan Segan and Kevin DeMoro. And has lined right at the shortstop Dorio as that dropped in an instant there. And one away. Third baseman, number 19, Brian Bastillo. Brian Bastillo, who was out on a batter's interference in the second inning as Rivera and Wagner tried to steal. Actually, I stand corrected, when Roman and Rivera tried to steal, not Wagner. But their stolen bases were negated. And it's a ground ball over to third base. The long throw by Lauer in time for the second out. So 2 infield outs by Young, who has not thrown 50 pitches yet. The center fielder, number 28, Michael Paterson. Obviously, if you're the Gothic Knights facing this team again tomorrow, you'd like to see the Pioneers go to their bullpen, have less options tomorrow. And that's fouled away by Michael Patterson, who is 0 for 2. He grounded out to short, and he flew out to right field. That was the 50th pitch by Young. 29 strikes and 21 balls. Ground ball. Pitcher waved at it, but Dorio will have to play up the middle, and the inning comes to a close. 3 infield outs, and the Gothic Knights go in order. We head to the 6th. William Paterson leading 3-2. Top of the 6th inning here in Jersey City. New pitcher, new third baseman, new batter. A.J. Flores will lead off, and he will face Kevin Demaro, the Gothic Knight rookie right-hander from Kearney, New Jersey, we just mentioned was one of the 3 true freshmen on the team. Flores calls time. Demaro is 1-0 with a save. This is his 9th appearance, all in relief. He's got a 0.84 ERA. And his first pitch to Flores is a ball. In 10.2 innings, he's allowed 1 earned run, 5 total, 9 hits, 8 strikeouts, 5 walks with an opposing batting average of .237. Meanwhile, the new third baseman is our 3rd true freshman, Stefan Segan, and he'll have an immediate play here on the bunt. The throw is low and gets by Weinstein. I think we're going to give Flores an infield bunt single there. It's not a routine play at all by Segan. So that will bring up Montanil, the first baseman, who we will announce to the crowd in a moment. First baseman, number 14, Jack Montanil. Montanil is 0 for 2 today with a walk. There goes Flores. The throw by Bolano is not in time. Stolen base by Flores. And we'll wait to see what the call is from the umpire. It was a strike. Looked like Flores was a little banged up as he slid into second base, but checks out okay. And the 0-2 pitch to Montanil. Ground ball right to Martucci and through the hole. 5-hold Martucci. The error allows Flores to advance and Montanil to reach. And the Gothic Knights are killing themselves with this defense. Third error of the game. The designated hitter, number 44, Adam Durner. And that is going to bring up Adam Durner in a big spot here. Pioneers leading by 1. Flores reached on a bunt single that could have actually been an error, but we decided it was not routine enough. Then Montanil did reach on an error right through the legs of Martucci. And tomorrow's first pitch to Durner is off the plate for ball 1. We're going to have to be very careful with Durner. One 0 pitch. Swing and a miss. As the ball's in the dirt. Gets by Bolano. On the pass ball, Montanil advances. One ball and one strike, but now Durner with 2 runners in scoring position. A fly ball here would make it 4-2 in most situations. A base hit could give the Pioneers a 3-run lead. That's low. 2-1. That's out of the way. So 2-2, nobody out here in the top of the 6th inning. It's been a great game so far in terms of being close, but the Gothic Knights have committed 3 errors. It's 3-2 William Paterson. Ground ball, and diving and knocking it down is Senezin, but it's going to be an RBI infield single for Durner. He doesn't have a lot of infield singles, but that one will make it 4-2. Flores scores, and Montanil goes to third. Currently, that run is unearned, although that could change. The shortstop, number 4, Anthony Dorio. Dorio is 0 for 2 today with a walk, line out to right field, and a ground out to short. Ground ball to Martucci. The flip to second for one. On to first, double play. And the Gothic Knights get two. But Montanil scores. And it's 5-2. Montanil's run, of course, unearned as he reached on an error. The catcher, number 5, Vin Fondacaro. But what that does do now is Flores' run has become earned. That's a called strike. This is the second earned run allowed this year. Flores is by DeMoro. Swinging a foul tip. One ball and two strikes. And it's 2-2. The 2-2 pitch. Curveball by DeMaro off the plate as it tailed off at the very last second, making it 3 balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs, but 2 run home here in the top of the 6th. The Pioneers leading 5-2. Bats ball 4. Second baseman, number 6, Scott Tazinski. So Tazinski, the catcher, Fondacaro at first. Throw back and he dives in. Fondacaro does. Tazinski hitting .333 on the year. 1 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. Chopped foul. Tomorrow, the third pitcher used by the Gothic Knights. Back to first, and Fondacaro's in safe. Oh, 1 pitch inside. Pitch by DeMora. It's popped up foul. It's going to head off to our right and onto the Gothic Knight practice soccer field. Two outs. And he goes on the 4th. The second baseman, number 15, Pete Senizin. Gothic Knights with some work to do here in the sixth inning. They had a 2-0 lead before the Pioneers scored twice in the fourth, once in the fifth, and then two more in the sixth, without Durner having to drive in a run. And it's a called strike to Senizin, who is 1 for 2 today with a single, is now hitting .250 on the year. That's off the middle of the bat. Top of the handle, it looked like. No balls and 2 strikes. Ball 1. Ground ball off the mound. Tough hop. That's going to be a base hit. Anthony Dorio tried to glove that one as it took a wicked carom off the base of the mound. And Pete Senizin has a leadoff single. First baseman, number 24, Alex Weinstein. And Pete Senizin is picked off. Picked off first base, 1-3. Caught napping. Another costly mental error for the Gothic Knights. And Weinstein comes to the plate. He's 0 for 2 today, and looks at a strike. The Gothic Knights are just making too many mistakes. 3 official errors, a mental error there on Senizin, a Garcia mental error on a infield sac bunt that should have been an out at first that ended up costing the Gothic Knights a run. It's the way things are going. The Knights are lucky right now to only be trailing by 3 with the way the Paterson bats have been lighting things up most of this year. And that is grounded. Diving and making a stop is Lauer, and the throw is not going to be in time. Weinstein beat it. Throw was offline, but it wouldn't have mattered. But a nice play by Lauer to probably take away an extra base hit from Weinstein. The shortstop, number 10, Michael Martucci. So Martucci now try to get the Gothic Knights another base runner. He's 0 for 2 today, reached on an error, the only error on the Pioneers, and later scored. And a swing and a check swing at that. At the first pitch, a high fastball, elbow high. That's low. 1-1. 2-0, I should say. What am I saying? It is 1-1. That was the 60th pitch of the game by Young here in the 6th inning. Very good ratio. Ground ball back to the mound. Off his glove, Dorio's going to have to flip the short way, and it's dropped. Dropped by the second baseman, Tazinski. And everyone is safe. That is an error on Tazinski on the muff throw. Credit and assist to Dorio, the muff throw on Tazinski. And can the Gothic Knights capitalize? The designated hitter, number 11, Rob Roman. NJCU trailing by 3. Has 2 speedy runners on base. For Rob Roman, hitting .313. He's 0 for 1 today with a walk and a run scored. And Roman on the season with 13 RBIs, tied for second most on the club with Weinstein. That's low, 2-0 with Bolano on deck. Double steal attempt. The throw to third is in time. Martucci advances to second. And it's a swing and a miss on Roman. So Martucci advances. Weinstein is out 2-5, caught stealing. 2-1 pitch to Roman. Now Martucci standing at second. Ground ball, foul. And it's 2-2, and the Pioneers are a strike away from getting out of the sixth inning. Swing and a tag out by the catcher Fondacaro after the ball was in the dirt, and the Gothic Knights threaten but cannot capitalize here in the sixth inning. In the sixth inning for NJCU, no runs, 2 hits. There was 1 error and 1 left. After 6 innings, it's 5-2 William Paterson. Leading off for the Pioneers, the right fielder number 7, Robbie Summers. It'll be Summers, Lauer, and Gibbons due up for the Pioneers here in the top of the 7th inning. It's a 5-2 game. That is high, and it's 2-0 as Kevin DeMoro out there for his second inning of work. That's ball 3. That's a strike. DeMoro's walked 1. Pedro Garcia walked 6. Fastball for a strike 2. So it's 3-2 to Summers. Strike 3 looking as Summers throws the bat down and walks away in disgust. So with 1 out, third baseman number 28, James Lauer. DeMoro did an excellent job there after falling behind 3-0, worked his way back 1 pitch at a time and got the strikeout. And that's a fastball on the outside corner to the right-handed hitting Lauer. Lauer is a junior from Hamilton, New Jersey, went to Pennington Prep High School. That's a ball, 1-1. Pennington Prep, the same high school as
Gothic Knight Hall of Fame men's soccer goalkeeper Jeff East, whose older brother Kevin East is the winningest men's soccer coach in program history, but now the head coach at Rutgers Newark. After a brief conversation at the mound between Bolano and DeMauro, the curveball in the dirt, 2-1. 5 runs, 8 hits, 2 errors on William Paterson. 2, 5, and 3 on the Gothic Knights. That's a called strike. 2 balls and 2 strikes. With some big boppers coming up. Swing and a miss. DeMauro had to get Lauer, and he does. Back-to-back Ks by Kevin DeMauro. Now has 10 strikeouts on the year and close to 12 innings of work. Center fielder number 11, Ryan Gibbons. That will bring up Gibbons, the center fielder, as the curveball is just off plate to the left-handed hitting Gibbons. Gibbons is a junior, 5'10", 185 pounds from Glen Rock, New Jersey. He's 1 for 4 today with a double and an RBI ground out. Glen Rock, 2 towns over from Wayne, where William Paterson's located, at the top of the hill. That's a ball dropped by Bolano, 3-0. One of the nicknames we used to have for William Paterson as undergrads was Bill on the Hill. 3-0 pitch. That's called strike on the fastball. It's a huge wooded campus, probably about 300 acres, I would guess, which led to High Mountain State Park. And that's ball 4. And Gibbons walks on 5 pitches. That will bring up the number 2 hitter, the left fielder, number 2, A.J. Flores. Used to hike back in those woods all the time and take long hikes on the weekend sometime up to High Mountain, which was actually across the border from Wayne in North Haledon. Probably one of the reasons I still have calf muscles today, all that hiking. Throw back to first, and the tag is not in time. Gibbons just sliding in underneath the swipe from Weinstein. Another throw back and more dirt on the uniform of Gibbons. DeMauro, just a little fake there. And Gibbons had to flinch and go back to first. That's low. Throw back to first, and once again, Gibbons is in. DeMauro paying close attention to Gibbons with Flores at the plate, the number 2 hitter in this dangerous lineup. Pioneers enter the week receiving votes as another throw back to first, and this time the ball is dropped by Weinstein. Pioneers received 3 votes in the D3Baseball.com national poll, also receiving votes in the ABCA Division III Coaches Top 30 poll. I vote in the D3 Baseball poll. I vote for 3 NJAC teams this past week. Pioneers were not one of them, at least not at this time. That's a fastball for a strike. I had Kane, Rowan, and Ramapo all featured in the top 15 of my poll. Throwback the first will not be made tomorrow. Enjoying playing the Flinch game. This time he does throw back the first. 1 ball, 1 strike. Grounded. Segan has a difficult hop to handle to throw to first in time. Stefan Segan. Nice job after 2 errors had been committed by Brian Bastillo in the game. Shows that he has a sure-handed glove there in his first true opportunity of this game. He had one earlier chance on a tough bunt, an infield hit. This time, retires the side. In the 7th inning for the Pioneers, no runs, no hits, 1 left on. 7th inning stretch, it's 5-2 William Paterson. Leading off for the Knights, the catcher, number 7, Orlando Bolano. So it'll be Bolano, Rivera, and Wagner, the 6, 7, and 8 hitters due up for the Gothic Knights. They have 5 hits, but they have not scored since putting up 2 runs in the 2nd inning, and it's strike 1 by Young to Bolano. Gothic Knights softball team is currently in Staten Island. That's fouled off. And it's 0-2. Gothic Knights taking on the Dolphins in a doubleheader of non-conference games today. Rebecca Satz enters that doubleheader with a school record 20-game hitting streak. We do not have a score. They do not do live stats in Staten Island, so nothing we can do to get you a score as Bolano strikes out swinging for the first out. The left fielder, number 1, Andrew Rivera. So Rivera hitting .325 on the season. He's 1 for 2 today with a single and a strikeout looking. That's ball 1 to Rivera, who's having an all-conference caliber year so far, but he needs to put up some numbers in league games. Two balls and no strikes to Rivera. 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th inning. It's 5-2 William Paterson. Ground ball through the right side. That's going to be a base hit as Tazinski unable to track that down. Rivera aboard for the 2nd time today. The right fielder, number 32, Matt Wagner. So Matt Wagner has got an RBI single and a line out in this contest. 1 for 2, now hitting .311 on the season. Gothic Knights trying to get back in this game, but they now have 6 hits and they have not scored in the last 4 innings. This is now the 5th inning, and a throw back to first, not nearly in time. Ground ball. The long throw in time by Lauer as Rivera goes to second. So with 2 away, that will bring up third baseman, number 12, Stefan Segan. Segan, who's had his troubles at the plate so far this year. He started the year as the starting third baseman, but he did not stay in the lineup. That ball is in the dirt. Rivera to third, and he will advance on the wild pitch. Segan started the year as the starting third baseman, but is hitting just .125. He has now played in 14 games out of the 21 with 4 starts, but has just 3 hits in 24 at-bats, 1 RBI, 4 runs scored. At the fastball for a called strike. Ground ball. It's in fair territory, and Segan did not run. That's unacceptable, and the inning comes to a close. Segan now is getting a lecture from Matt Soleno. Had he ran, the Gothic Knights would have scored. Segan does not run, thinking that it's a foul ball. Home plate umpire Steve Leonardo clearly pointed fair, and Lauer, the third baseman, who initially did not make a throw on it because he thought it was foul, had plenty of time to throw out Segan. Inning comes to a close. Jerry Smith is going to come out and have a conversation with Steve Leonardo. Getting off to first baseman, number 14, Jack Montanil. So we have some changes here, and we'll tell you about them as we fix the lineup here on the computer. Martucci moves from shortstop to the mound. He will pitch for the first time as a Gothic Knight. Meanwhile, Juan Cruz comes into the game in the 5 spot, and he plays shortstop for the first time as a Gothic Knight. The DH is gone, so Rob Roman is out of the game. But Montanil, the first baseman, hitting .407
takes a strike. Martucci initially went to St. Peter's College out of St. Peter's Prep last year as a freshman, as a pitcher, played in 5 games before becoming injured. He did not play in the field at all as a Peacock. He throws hard. That's a strike 2 to the first batter he's faced as a Gothic Knight. Has not pitched this year. Meanwhile, Ron Cruz, who has played everywhere on the field that you could think of, with the exception of left field and center field and catcher, now playing his 6th position a year, a shortstop for the first time. 3-2 pitch, and it is lined to center field as a base hit. A good piece of hitting by Montanil, getting the head of the bat on the ball. The designated hitter, number 44, Adam Derner. So Cruz has played first base, second base, shortstop, third base. He's pitched. He has played right field. I don't remember him playing center field. He definitely has not played left. And he hasn't caught yet. So 3 positions left for the defensive cycle. And a pitch to Derner is a ball. Martucci throws hard. Probably throws, if I had to guess, in the mid to upper 80s. I think is a fair guess with that gun here in the press box. 1-0 pitch to Derner. That's a fastball for a called strike. And Martucci just made a grimace as if he hurt himself. One pitch. That's fouled off the bat. Yeah, home plate umpire Steve Leonardo did not see that ball. We saw it as a foul. Bolano was saying it was a foul. That's why he couldn't catch it. And they're going to check with Jim Giuliani to see if that was foul. It was clearly a foul ball. But this is huge because the first baseman, Montanil, ran to second as that ball hit the screen. And I believe they're going to say this is a ball, and I'm sorry, folks, that is a terrible call. If you saw the way that ball came off the bat, it clearly changed direction. Now, obviously, I have a great vantage point right here, but so does Steve Leonardo, the umpire, and I'm surprised that he missed that. And Jerry Smith clearly unhappy, as he should be. Two balls and one strike.
William Paterson baseball team just tweeted at us. Montanelli is pronounced Mont.
Jerry Smith now is going to go out and have a conversation with the field umpire, Jim Giuliano, who also missed that. And I think they're going to ask to look at the baseball to see if there's a mark on the ball. And that's a big play in this game, folks, honestly. Because if you get that wrong, you have a runner in scoring position to clean up here for the Pioneers, who's right now the front runner for the NJAC Player of the Year. This is a huge turn in this game right here. The Knights trail by 3. The Pioneers, if the umpires do not get this right, put the Knights in a bigger hole.
video replay right here.
All right, so they are going to finally change it. They do get it right, finally. So what they're going to do, they're going to split the difference here. They're going to leave it as a ball to Durner. But the runner's not allowed to advance. That is a fastball on the outside corner for strike two. So they split the difference. Montanil is not allowed to advance. The ball does remain, and it's 2-2. Pitch by Martucci. Dropping curve is just high. And it's 3-2. Arguably the best player in the NJAC this year at the plate. And it's fouled away. Clearly that was fouled. Everyone in the press box ducks, except for Michael Kelly and myself. Head coach Crystal Wilson of the cross-country team is underneath the press box table, thinking that ball was going to be fouled right into her kitchen. Throw back to first, and just a lollipop of a flow just to let the runner Montanil know that we're still thinking about him. Martucci with the flinch. Sometimes a flinch is enough to get you to react. There goes Montanil. Swing and a foul tip as Bolano was unable to hold on to it. If Bolano holds on to that, it's strike three. 8th inning, 5 runs, 9 hits, 2 errors for the Pioneers, 2 6 and 3 for the Gothic Knights. And that's ball 4, and the entire conversation becomes meaningless as Durner walks on 7 pitches. The shortstop, number 4, Anthony Dorio. So Dorio, the shortstop, hitting .375, showing bunt. And takes ball 1. Dorio in today's game is 0 for 3. Lined out to right field. He walked, grounded out to short, and then hit into a 6-4-3 double play. That did drive in a run, but he does not get an RBI for it. And that's bunted straight up and over the press box. 1-1. That's off the plate. 2-1. Showing bunt. It drops down. Bolano, the throw to Senazin, covering first. And the sacrifice is effective as Montanil and Durner move on to third and second, respectively. So a 2-4 sack bunt. Now 1 away double plays taken out of the equation for the catcher, number 5, Vin Fondacaro. Fondacaro hitting .361. He's got a hit, a walk, a strikeout, and a fielder's choice today. 1 for 3, 1 run scored. And that's lined into the gap. That's a base hit. Andrew Rivera is there. 1 run scores. Here comes Durner with a second run. And the Pioneers have broken it open. They leave 7-2. So defensive changes here for the Gothic Knights. Michael Martucci will move back to shortstop where he started the game. Orlando Bolano, who started the game at catcher, instead of receiving the pitches, now will throw them. And Mike Cassiano will come into the game in place of Juan Cruz, who was the shortstop, and he will catch. Now, between innings, we received a tweet from William Paterson saying that the name is actually pronounced Montanelli, but we, before the game, we always checked the pronunciations with the bench, and everyone was saying it's Montanil. So we are going to continue to say Montanil until I get it out of my system. Second baseman, number 6, Scott Tazinski. Tazinski hitting .328, but the Pioneers with 2 runs home here in the 8th have broken it open. They lead 7-2. A game that has started to just fall apart for the Gothic Knights, and you can thank the errors for that because NJCU was very much in this game until its defense let them down. That is a called strike. Mike Lauderhan, the head coach of the Pioneers, looking for his 100th win in his 5th year at his alma mater. In 4.5 years, to be exact. And that's hit in the air to right field, but Matt Wagner is right there. Makes the catch. 2 away. Right fielder number 7, Robbie Summers. Summers hitting .352. He's having an okay day. He's 1 for 3, 2 strikeouts, but a single and a run scored. He also walked. Left-handed hitter. In the dirt, dropped by Cassiano. Summers is a senior from West Long Branch, New Jersey, Shore Regional, 5'11", 170 pounds. That's low. For Bolano, this is his 7th appearance, all in relief. In 6.1 innings, he's allowed 5 runs, 3 earned, with 9 strikeouts and 6 walks, also 5 hits. And that's inside, ball 3. He has the best opposing batting average on the team at 192. He's 1-0 on the year with a 4.26 ERA. 3-0 pitch coming by Bolano. That's a called strike. With Fondacaro, a 2-run single to his credit, standing at first base. Pops straight up. Ranging over in the shortstop hole and putting it away is Michael Martucci. And the inning comes to a close. In the 8th inning for the Pioneers, 2 runs on 2 hits, 1 left on. We head to the bottom of the 8th inning. It's 7-2. Leading off the Knights in the bottom of the 8th inning, the center fielder number 28, Michael Paterson. So the Gothic Knights find themselves down by 5 against Young, who's been very effective, just 76 pitches in 7 innings. 7 innings, he's allowed 1 earned run, 6 hits, all singles, 3 strikeouts, a walk, and a wild pitch. In the air, center field, Gibbons puts it away. The second baseman, number 15, Pete Senazin. So Senazin, 2 for 3 today. Back-to-back singles. And first pitch popped in the air, but it's foul onto the soccer field. Ground ball, dug out by Lowery. Throw is plenty of time for the second out. Two away, and that brings up first baseman number 24, Alex Weinstein.
Weinstein now at 279 on the year, 1 for 3 today. He singled and was thrown out at third on a steal attempt in the 6th inning. Popped. Shallow right field. Coming in is Summers on the line, makes a basket catch in fair territory to end the inning. In the 8th inning for the Knights, 1-2-3, the Knights go down. They head to the 9th, trailing the Pioneers by 5. Third baseman, number 28, James Lauer. Top of the 9th inning for the Pioneers, leading by 5. They will face Wendell Rodriguez, who's out for his bullpen day. Probably be the starting pitcher either tomorrow or Saturday, you would think. Michael Kelly says he will pitch Saturday. And Michael Kelly has yet to be wrong this year. Swing and a miss. And it's 2-0. 0-2, I should say. Wendell Rodriguez came in on Tuesday out of the bullpen and made a key 4-pitch strikeout save. Swing and a miss, and Rodriguez strikes out Lauer. The Kings College Monarchs had the tying run coming to the plate after scoring 5 runs in the bottom of the 9th inning before Rodriguez sent NJCU home winners. Center fielder, number 11, Ryan Gibbons. Gibbons hitting now .438 on the year. Walked in his last at bat. He is 1 for 4 today. And first pitch is ball 1. Single season record for saves is 7. And the first pitch is a strike. Record was set, I believe, 4 years ago. It's off the plate. That's the 2nd save of the year by Rodriguez. That's a strikes. Makes it 2-2. Pitch by Rodriguez. That's low. And count is full. In the air, left field, Rivera backs up a few steps, makes the catch for the 2nd out. So with 2 away, left fielder, number 2, A.J. Flores. By the way, we were mentioning the save record. The save record is 7 by Joe Torallo. It's actually 8. He had 8 saves in that 2009 season, and that is the school record. Be a tough one to break. Curveball by Rodriguez is a called strike. Ira Thor with you here on the Green and Gold Network. NJCU baseball all season long. The Gothic Knights trailing today 7-2, their first home conference game of the year, taking on the Pioneers in game 1 of a 2-day home-and-home series. And the pitch is in the dirt, 1-1. Ground ball up the middle. That's going to be a base hit. Rodriguez really had the only play of that one. No way Senizin or Martucci would get to it, so it's a 2-out single for Flores. And that will bring up the first baseman, number 14, Jack Montanilli. So we're going to go with the tweeted pronunciation. Montanilli, the first baseman, and takes a strike on the curveball. Montanilli is 1 for 4 today. Scored once when he reached on an error. He's also walked. That's low. Blocked by Cassiano. 1 ball and 1 strike. Popped in the air. Shallow right. Out goes Senizin. Wagner runs a long way, but is able to make the catch in fair territory about 5 feet from the line, and the inning comes to a close. 9th inning for William Paterson. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left on. We head to the bottom of the 9th inning. It'll be Martucci, Cassiano, and Rodriguez due up. You imagine we'll have some pinch hitters. The Gothic Knights try to put together another late rally against James Young, who has been very good today. 83 pitches in 8 innings. Ninth inning, and Michael Martucci leading off for the Gothic Knights, a trail by 5. And the first pitch is a called strike. 7-2, the Pioneers lead. Chopped foul in front of home plate. And Martucci falls behind 0-2. Michael Martucci, who has pitched today for the first time as a Gothic Knight, is 0 for 3, reached twice on a fielder's choice, also reached on an error and scored the first of 2 runs that came in that second inning. That is a ball. NJCU struck first. They scored twice in the second, but the Pioneers with 2 in the fourth, 1 in the fifth, 2 in the sixth, and 2 in the eighth. In the dirt. And Young has a chance for a complete game while throwing less than 100 pitches. which actually Wendell Rodriguez did earlier this year for NJCU in Florida in a win over Sewanee. In the dirt, that's 3-2. Cassiano on deck. He probably will not be pinch hit for as he is warming up behind the cage. Pitch by Young. Ground ball. Coming over and making the play to Dorio, and he throws to first, and Anthony Dorio retires his counterpart at shortstop, Michael Martucci, for the first out. One away. The catcher, number 41, Mike Cassiano. So Cassiano, who is hitting just 167, and that is the main reason he's not been out there every day. Now in 15 games this year, 11 starts, he has 5 hits in 30 at-bats. Very good defensive catcher, but Bolano has the better bat, and that's why he's been playing with Ryan Winters injured. And the first pitch is a strike. That is high by Young. 1 ball and 1 strike. Young has thrown 1 complete game this year. He's 1-0. Popped in the air. Shallow right, coming over and making the catch about 10 feet into the outfield is Scott Tazinski, and now 2 away. And the last chance for the Knights. Pinch hitting for Wendell Rodriguez. Number 25, Matt Loose. So Matt Loose, the pinch hitter here, and he takes a strike. His 3rd at bat as a Gothic Knight. He had a base hit and an RBI in his first plate appearance last week after being injured for most of the year. He got hurt in fall ball and was hurt the entire spring trip. He's now played in 2 games, both as a pinch hitter. 1 ball and 1 strike. Ground ball foul, and the Gothic Knights are down to their final strike. It's 1-2. 95 pitches for Young. Matlos. Sophomore out of Clark, New Jersey, 6 foot, 175 pounds, Arthur L. Johnson High School. The 1-2 pitch by Young is low, bounces in front of the left side batter's box. 2-2. Even if Matt Lose gets on, the Knights have a whole lot of work to do to get themselves back in this one. These same 2 teams will play tomorrow in Wayne at 1 o'clock. That's fouled off again by Matt Lose, who's battling here. Of course, that will be an early start because of it being Good Friday. NJCU will play twice on Saturday here in Jersey City against Rutgers Camden beginning at 11:30 a.m. The 2-2 pitch by Young. Hit in the air, right center field. Coming over and making the catch is Robbie Summers, and the ball game comes to a close, and the Gothic Knights lose. In the 9th inning for the Gothic Knights, no runs, no hits, and nobody left on. Your final score today: William Paterson, 7 runs, 11 hits, and 2 errors. New Jersey City, 2 runs, 6 hits, and 3 errors. With the win, the Pioneers improved to 17-5 overall, 2-1 in the NJAC. The Gothic Knights fall to 9-12, 0-3 in the league. These same 2 teams will meet tomorrow in the second day of a home-and-home series, 1 o'clock in Wayne, NJCU at William Paterson. We thank you for your attendance at today's contest. The next home baseball doubleheader for the Gothic Knights will be on Saturday at 11:30 a.m. NJCU hosting Rutgers Camden. So that's it here today in Jersey City, taking a look at the final stats for this one. Derner was 2 for 3 with a run and RBI. Fondacaro 2 for 4 with a 2-run single and 1 run. And Flores was 2 for 5 with 3 stolen bases. Only players with multiple hits for the Pioneers, but they did get 11. Montanelli scored twice. And the Pioneers with a complete game victory out of James Young. And they get 2 runs in the 4th, 2 in the 6th and 8th, with 1 in the 5th for the 7-2 final. And Young was outstanding. 9 innings, allowed just 1 earned run, 6 hits, 3 strikeouts, 1 walk, over 98 pitches. Conversely for NJCU, Rivera was 2 for 3 with an RBI. Senizin was 2 for 4, but that's it. Just 6 hits overall, all singles, as Young was masterful today, improving to 2-0. Garcia takes the loss. He is now 0-3 in 4.1 innings, walked 6, struck out 1. He allowed 2 earned runs and 5 hits. NJCU's 6 pitchers, Zach Markle, Kevin DeMauro, Michael Martucci, Orlando Bolano, and Wendell Rodriguez. NJCU pitchers in this game struck out 5 and walked 9, allowing 5 earned runs. And that will do it here today. William Paterson, 7 runs, 11 hits, 2 errors. NJCU, 2 runs, 6 hits, and 3 errors. The Gothic Knights fall to 9-12 on the year, 0-3 in the league. Our next broadcast of Gothic Knight Baseball will be Saturday morning with first pitch at 11:25. First pitch at 11:25 a.m. The Gothic Knights taking on Rutgers Camden in a doubleheader of conference baseball. For our camera operators today, Margie Alfano and Jorge Rivera, we thank you for watching Gothic Knight Baseball here on the Green and Gold Network. For everyone at New Jersey City University Athletics, I'm Ira Thor saying thanks for watching today's game. Until we talk to you on Saturday, be well, everybody.